You're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite low.
PE ratio at 7.4. Payment to income ratio at over 40% of gross income. 52% more expensive to own. Things right now are absolutely out of control in the housing market, and regardless of those things, you guys, regardless of the equity run-up, regardless of the over 80% of buyer's remorse, Redfin is still being overly optimistic about people purchasing real estate. And what I did today, guys, is I took you guys out in the field, and I figured, why not do a video out here next to the campfire? And I want to talk to you guys about how right now the housing market is so dangerous. It's a lot like land-based shark fishing, which is what I'm doing right now. Would you want to go battle through the ocean waves right now with a bloody bait in a kayak and you can't see? If you fall, maybe you get fed to the sharks. Same thing is happening in the housing market. It's very important, guys, that if you are purchasing real estate right now, that you make sure that you're doing it based on fundamentals like cash flow, like wedge, like having 6 months of reserves, only 25% of your income going towards paying your house, and the proper expectation. One of those potentially being you may have to live in your house 10 to 15 years before you see any equity. I told you guys I was going to do a video next to the campfire. For all this effort, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot some comments below. I am so tired, you guys. We got a late start. It's dangerous out here. It's midnight. But regardless, we're still going to talk about the Redfin article titled Housing Market Update. Mortgage applications tick up as rates drop from peak. New listings rise. Another thing I want to talk about is the difference between opinion and fact. Now, it's been my opinion on when I think things are going to happen. But one fact I want us all to remember is that the asset bubble that we have right now is the biggest asset bubble in history. And if it doesn't collapse, this will be the first time in history the housing market doesn't collapse. You guys, we don't have to base this off of feeling. It is a fact. The equity run-up is absolutely out of control. But regardless, let's get back into the article. Mortgage purchase applications are on the rise. Mortgage purchase applications rose 3% from a week earlier during the week ending November 10th, bringing them to their highest level in 5 weeks. That marks the second straight week of increases. And while pending home sales were down 8% year over year during the 4 weeks ending November, 12%, that's one of the smallest declines since April of 2022. House hunters are coming off the sidelines because mortgage rates are dropping from their peak. Promising inflation report. Good news for interest rates. Mortgage rates are declining partly because the week's CPI report shows that inflation is easing. That means it's almost certain that the Fed won't hike interest rates again this year, and they may start cutting rates earlier than expected. More sellers are jumping in too. New listings of home for sale are up 3% from a year earlier. That's fantastic news. The biggest increase in 2 years, and just the second increase, only the second increase since July 2022. The total number of homes for sale is near its highest level since the start of the year. That's great news. There's a variety of reasons why more homeowners are putting their homes on the market. Some are noticing the small uptick in home buying demand. Some are worried home prices are going to decline if they wait any longer. Others are ready to give up their lower mortgage rate after realizing rates are unlikely to drop back to pandemic era levels anytime soon. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you have a low interest rate right now, one of the last things that you're going to want to do is trade that in by doing something like a refinance or debt consolidation or anything like that. You want to keep that low interest rate for as long as possible. Let's go over this week's leading indicators, but before I do, I want again to go back to land-based shark fishing. You can't just jump in the sea and expect to catch something. I understand that some investors right now are getting great deals, but understand they're experts. For example, look at what I'm wearing. I have waders. I don't even want to talk about that, being in the ocean. Look at that, I have the kayak behind me. I'm an old man, you guys. I'm kayaking in pitch black, going through waves I can't even see that are crushing me. So absolutely ridiculous. If you're in the market to purchase right now, make sure the realtor you're working with is the absolute best realtor, because again, It's the biggest financial transaction of your life, but back to the leading indicators. Starting with interest rates, the daily average is 7.45%. The weekly average is 7.5%. Now, mortgage purchase applications, everyone's so excited about the mortgage purchase applications, but the reality is, guys, is as you can see here, we are down 12% year over year. So I understand all the hoopla and, you know, whatnot, but we're gutted. We can feel the recession right now in the industry. If you're a professional in the industry now, home buying demand is absolutely gutted as well. That's down 6% year over year. That's absolutely great news, you guys, because we needed the demand to essentially be curved. Obviously, the demand, even though it's wrecked right now, has been outpacing the inventory because the inventory is also historically low. So a lot of interesting things going on. Going back into this, Google searches are down 10% year over year, and touring activity is down a whopping, somehow you guys, 30%, you guys, 30% year over year. Absolutely shocking. No one wants to know about the housing market right now. It's pretty crazy, actually. Let's go into this week's winners and losers. And honestly, you guys, this is so toxic. This data is so funky. I don't trust it. Things are going on and off this list. We really need to be looking at what's going on from peak, but take a look at this week's winners and losers. A couple California cities, starting with Anaheim at number 1 at 12.9. Number 2 is at Cincinnati at an increase of 12%. Again, you guys, that's not from peak. San Diego's back on the list at 11.9%. Providence, Rhode Island at 10.9. Newark, New Jersey at 10.4. Now the losers, a lot of Texas places in there, really shocking. I think that's because of new construction. Mad swings here. Austin down a whopping 8.1, San Antonio down 3.1, Detroit 1.2, Fort Worth 1%. We have Tampa, Florida, welcome to the list at 0.4, and Nashville, Tennessee at 0.5. So essentially in the housing market right now, I want to make clear this. That's existing inventory. We already have price crashing when it comes to new construction. On a national average, remember you guys, the prices of new homes are down 15.7%. So the price crashes are happening in new construction and are happening in some markets for existing inventory. And I think it's going to be big in Texas because of all the new construction. Let's visualize some of this data right now. And I went all the way up on my shark rack with all of this equipment. I had to kneel down because of this tripod. You see Julian right there helping me out. That's my boy. He's the only realtor that I will refer right now. He's always helping me. Show this man some love. His contact info is in my description as someone that works for and with Real Estate Mindset. If you want to know anything about real estate, email him at his real estate contact info. But we're going to visualize some data right now, you guys, starting with median sales price. Now, median sales price, you guys, is up 4.2% year over year. But I also want to make a point that we are down once again, week over week, $502. We cannot see that in the chart. We can never see it in the chart. Now, we started this year at, okay, I don't know if you guys remember, but we started this year around $350,000. So we have about $18,000, $19,000 to lose before we have that year over year decline again that I'm hoping that we end the year with. Let's talk about the unaffordability. Now, obviously, guys, the unaffordability is absolutely out of control. You guys know that. Let's take a look at the payments right now. As you can see, you guys, we're up 13.3% year over year. I want to point out also, you guys, so the average payment is $2,670. That's without taxes and insurance, I believe. But 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, you guys, and this is absolutely crazy to me, 2 years ago, the payments were only $1,700. 2 years ago. That's all it was. $1,700 2 years ago. So in order for things to get back into balance, either we need to make 62% more in our wages, which that would be obviously awesome, or equity needs to go down about 38%. So one of those things need to happen. Obviously, you guys, unaffordability is absolutely wrecking the housing market right now. You can clearly see that in that chart right here. Once again, sky high prices. Please slow down, make good decisions. As far as my bet with some of my subscribers hitting 1 million active units this year, it doesn't look like we're gonna hit it. Let me show you where we're at right now, you guys. We're at 864,946. So essentially, in order for me to win the dollar against Johnny and Vital Signs and Jeff, we need another 135,000 active listings. And you guys, we need that in about 6 weeks. So unfortunately, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if we're gonna hit that. I hope we do. I think we will eventually, but you guys, unfortunately, I might not win my dollar, which would really suck. Also, you guys, do me a favor. How am I doing so far? You have no idea how hard this is. There's water in the air. There's dust in the air. We have all this equipment out here. I want you guys to know real quick how much I appreciate you. That's one of the main reasons why I made that free home buying course. So if you want to learn how to buy properly, please, you guys, and I know it's not financial advice, but it is the bare minimums. I want you guys to be empowered. I want you guys to lean on yourself when it comes to comprehending what's going on in the housing markets. Go to the link, enroll in the course, and enjoy it. So moving on, please guys, take what I'm saying seriously. It's very important that you guys don't learn the hard way. Learning the hard way is not gonna be a very good thing for you, especially if you could just pay attention to what I'm saying, okay? And what I'm saying, you guys, is you want to be safe. You could be having a good time, strolling on the beach at night, and then boom, take a look at behind me. That is a railroad track with jagged rebar coming out of it. Okay, so my point is there's an overwhelming amount of traps in the housing market, and unless you have a great realtor or you have a basic understanding, you guys, of how the housing market works, you're in danger, and I don't want that to happen to you. I want all of the viewers of this channel at least to grow, to be empowered together, and for us all to win. And I know it's very, very hard right now. I know so many people are frustrated, and I get it. It seems like things are never gonna change, but I'm gonna tell you guys right now, things will absolutely change. It has never ever been more important to save your money and to do things based on merit, ethics, and principles. But regardless, let's go back into the data. New listings of homes for sale, unbelievably, you guys, we are up 3% year over year. That is absolutely fantastic. That means that the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening is starting to work. The COVID money printing is starting to go away. But right now, you guys, we're up 3.3%. Again, just more great data. And when we pay attention to the rules of supply and demand, we know that inventory and supply is going up because demand is going down. Why is demand going down? Obviously, you guys, the 7 and 8% interest rates and the fact that property values went up almost 45% in only 2 years. Home values are not supposed to do that, so we have to be so careful right now. Here's the good news. We are sitting at 3.7 months of supply available on the market. Now, normally for the market to be considered a balanced market, we need 4 to 5 months. So we are really on the cusp of having a balanced market. We need 6 months of supply for it to be a buyer's market. 4 to 5 again for a balanced market. But this is great news, you guys. You can see the trajectory is going up. The stuff that's going on right now, essentially, you guys, what I'm trying to say is it's working. So I really want you guys to put things in perspective. Allow the Federal Reserve to do their job. Don't get trapped in your home. I mean, we've seen some reports again where in some metro areas, Zillow thinks it's going to take 20 years, you guys, 20 years to get equity in your house. So I want you to think about that if you're stressed on the sideline. But other than that, guys, again, let me know how I did out here. It's absolutely bonkers doing videos out in the dark at the beach with wind at 12 o'clock at night. You have no idea how tired I am, but I absolutely love you guys. I told you how to do the campfire. Now, other than that, if you guys are out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.